Hey wrestling fans, welcome to One Winged Wrestling, where we help you navigate the complex world of pro wrestling, bringing you the best matches, world-class wrestlers, and news you can count on. At One Winged Wrestling, we bring the elite to you. My name is Bill Cutbush, and joining me in the car, having just left Forbidden Door, is Mr. Krishna Denai, and we are currently approaching the parking gate exit, so you are going to hear us leaving the parking garage. We are just minutes away from finishing the Forbidden Door show, and we are going to run through the card and let you guys know what we thought of tonight's show. We have just finished watching literally 13 hours of wrestling. No, Forbidden Door wasn't that long.
It wasn't that long.
No. So, Krishna, how's the drive so far?
It's calm. You know, it was busy Sunday in the city, so but so far it looks okay. It looks okay, I guess, right?
Yeah,
so.
Yep. No, perfect. Good stuff. I'm going to apologize to all of you right off the top if the sound is a little wonky, because we are first time in a car, one mic, doing our best. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into the show, shall we, Krishna?
Let's do it.
Okay. We were there live. It's AEW New Japan Forbidden Door from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. There were a bunch of matches. I do not know the exact number because it got changed on us during the show.
Yeah.
But we were there like well in time. We were up in our seats, nice and early. We had decent seats. You could see the ring clearly. We were not exactly ringside or anything like that, but it was good. It was good. Yeah, you like the seats, Krishna?
Seats were great. You know, it said what did it say?
Limited view.
Limited view, but
yes.
We saw everything. I guess the limited view was the actual Jumbotron, but you didn't really need the Jumbotron, so...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we couldn't really see the Jumbotron. I could see, like, little bits of the side of it, but they had the big Jumbotron hanging in the middle, you know, and then whatever. You could see the ring, so, like, really, who cared? Yeah, but we got there early enough that we got to see a dark match, and the dark match was Filthy Tom Lawler taking on the Spanish Announce Project's Serpentico, the greatest knight in all of professional wrestling, Serpentico himself. So, this was a very quick match, 5 minutes, Lawler, or less. Lawler run with the straitjacket knee to the back. Yeah, very short match. Like, there was maybe a quarter of the people already in their seats or less. What'd you think of the match, Christian?
Again, a dark match. Like, for some reason, I thought it was a tag match at first because everyone came out. Like the Spanish Announce Project came out, and then Lawler and I guess his tag partner came out as well. So I'm like, oh, it's a tag match, and then it was just Tom Lawler versus Serpentico. Quick match. I mean, Lawler, I guess, wasn't gonna win, and it seems like Serpentico is just jobbing at this point. Yep. So yeah, it was a quick match. It wasn't bad. It was fast.
Yeah, it was there. I mean, yeah, it was. it did what it had to do. You know, it was a very quick warm up match for the guy. We did think though. So Tom Lawler's wrestling 2 matches on this card.
Yep.
But what we didn't realize at the time, and what we found out by the end of the night, was the Adam Cole Tom Lawler match didn't happen.
Just no announcement or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So we got no Adam Cole on the show. Maybe something was announced like during the actual pay-per-view broadcast or something, or explained his absence. I don't know. But just after that, Tony Khan came out. He hyped up the crowd and he called out Christian Cage. And Christian came out and said, you know, Toronto, basically, it's a city of champions. Like, I'm brought out here under obligation. You know, Tony's making me talk to you guys just because I'm from Toronto. He goes, you guys really need a champion you can be proud of. I'm that champion. I'll allow you to bask in me for a moment.
Yeah, basically said it's just because he's from Toronto doesn't mean he has to like it.
Yes.
Right? And people were shouting, go back to Orangeville because that's really where he's from or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's Christian. I marked out for him, so it was fun. I was just happy to see him there.
Oh yeah, me too. And then we got our first match on 0 Hour, which started off. We had 4 matches on this. The first one was Chaos, team of Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, and Rocky Romero, taking on the Mogul affiliates. So we had the Gates of Agony, Brian Cage, and Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, no, this was a great match. It was fun. Everyone, like, it was just the thing about it was I had it was one of those, like, those matches where you want to kind of like cheer for everyone in the match because you like both sides. Like,
Yeah.
like the Mogul, what do they call themselves? The Mogul Embassy now?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry,
Right?
Mogul Embassy.
Yeah,
yes.
they're fantastic.
Oh, are they ever?
They're so good.
Yeah,
like,
that dive series, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so I bit a couple times and said, "Oh my god, this is where they're going to win. This is where they're going to win." Right? Swerve's just so great, right? I thought the best friends like the I guess it was Chaos, right?
Yeah.
They were great. Like everyone in this match was great. It was really fast. It was fun.
Yeah.
I remember again, listen, like there were some WWE fans beside us.
Yes.
And they actually said they're like, "Wow, this is the pre-show match." And they're going all out like this.
Yeah.
Right? So they were even like shocked, and I'm like, yeah, this is AEW. This is what we get.
But were they the same guys trying to claim that Dominic Mysterio is a better wrestler than Kenny Omega?
There was. We'll talk about the fans in a bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, like this match was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, Cage and Swerve. There was a point where they kind of ran into each other.
Yeah.
But then they ended up working well together by the end, and Swerve pinned Rocky with the Swerve stomp.
Yeah.
The story of the match was really just the heels were working. It was classic stuff. Heels were working over the Chaos for quite a while, especially Trent, and then by the end of it, there was a big comeback by Chaos, but in the end, the Mogul Embassy. The Mogul Embassy pulled it out.
Yep.
Then we got the first of our quarterfinal matches this was on the women's side for the Owen Hart Cup, and we had Billie Starkz taking on Athena. Billie came out flying. Athena took control fairly quickly, though. Billie at one point picked her out of the air with a nice super kick on a springboard. Athena, though, had a great sequence at one point, ending in a pop-up powerbomb for 2. Starkz hit the apron with a senton at one point, though. And because she completely missed Athena, ate the apron with a senton, this allowed Athena to get her back in the ring, hit her finisher for the 3.
Yeah, I as I said, I wanted Billie to win this match.
Yeah.
But Athena, she destroyed Billie at the end. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
She absolutely destroyed her. That move when Billie Starkz went to hit Athena on the ring apron, and she missed. Yeah. I was like, oh my. I'm like, I think Billie Starkz is dead.
Yes.
Right? I was like, my God, Billie Starkz, like we were saying, hopefully we get like a little thing saying that Billie Starkz is now All Elite. Yeah. Because she's so good. She's so awesome.
She really is.
That I'm just like, I'm always shocked every time I see her. So I'm kind of like, this match was great. It wasn't too long. It was pretty quick. I think they gave them like maybe 10 minutes. Yeah. Maybe. Right? But hard hitting. Athena, that character is perfect for her. At the end, I really wish Billie had won, but overall, great match.
Yep. No, I really enjoyed this match too. I thought both women gave it a hell of a go. Yeah. So yeah, it's solid. I don't have much to add from what you said. So I just wish Billie Starkz come out on top. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen her advance in the tournament. But hey, Athena's moving on. She's great too. So
yep.
Speaking of great, we had a match added to this pre-show, and it was El Phantasmo, ELP taking on Stu Grimson. Stu came out with kind of like devoid of any Dark Order references.
Yeah.
He came out with like some dancer and some guy in white. Now, from my vantage point, they didn't have this up on the screens, and I couldn't really see who these two were at all. Okay. It was just some guy and some other guy, and one of them was dancing, and the other guy was in white, and I have no idea what they were doing with Stu. Yeah. Stu was getting booed, though, bringing these guys out. Yeah. ELP got a big pop. Early on, there was some great rope jumping by ELP. Stu caught him at one point, though, and took over. So he was dominating the match for quite a bit. One point, though, hit a senton onto the apron onto ELP, which just looked vicious. ELP hit a combo senton then, though, and a splash using springboards. Stu, though, hit an F5 for a near fall. ELP then got the advantage, though, with an avalanche, Hurricane Rana, and then a frog splash. And Stu hit a 450 for another near fall. But ELP won with the double underhook face buster.
Yeah, so I saw something on Ring of Honor. I think it was Ring of Honor. Something happened where it looked like Stu joined another, I guess, faction, right? Yeah. And I didn't know what it was because I remember the Dark Order said even Stu's acting weird these days, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't know what it was, but like I think he did join something. So I spent most of this match at the concession stand getting food. So I was watching the match on TV and I'm hearing the cheering in the background.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if I've seen El Phantasmo like this before, right? I don't know. Because I've seen him like basically like wrestle, but not to this extent. Right? So I'm like, he's amazing. Like he's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, yo, I want El Phantasmo to join the Bullet Club, like Bullet Club Gold I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And come to AEW. He was amazing. Like I shouldn't say he. Both these guys were fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
This match was so awesome. And I was like, man, El Phantasmo was like, so when I saw him, right, the first time, he was more of a comedy character, right?
Yes.
And he still is, but like, I didn't realize he can do all the flippy stuff I love, like that, right?
Yeah.
So I know Grayson is fantastic, so I mean, nothing bad to say. But I absolutely love this match. I thought this was the see, it's either this or the Chaos match, which I'm going back and forth as the best match of the pre-show.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, oh man, I don't know which one's better. They're both really great. But anyways, I had tons and tons of fun with this match. I thought it was fantastic. El Phantasmo again, growing on me. I think he's a great wrestler. So, yeah.
Yep. No, this match. I mean, what more can you say? You've said it all, right? I mean, solid wrestling, great match. Both guys were fantastic. Is it my match of the pre-show? Because I also really liked the next match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we also have the next match, which is Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, and TJP, the United Empire, taking on Los Ingobernables de Japan, Hiromu Takahashi, Shinto Takagi, and Titan.
That's right.
UE put on a show until Takagi caught TJP. Basically what happened was all these guys got great spots in until Takagi worked over TJP, and then he gets the win with his pump handle slam leg drop.
Yeah. And this match was great. You're right. I'm not gonna lie. This match actually was very, very good. I, for some odd reason, didn't know TJP was gonna be here, and in my head I kept saying, well, why wouldn't Tony Khan bring TJP over? He's so awesome.
Yeah.
And he was great in this match, right? He was great. Again, the WWE stands that were there kept calling let's say Jeff Cobb Rhino. I'm like, you guys don't even know how much better Jeff Cobb is than Rhino. Let's be real here, okay?
Yeah.
So that was kind of annoying, but like, I mean, this match was great. This match was fast. It was fun. You know, Kyle Fletcher, right?
Yeah.
This guy is so good. Like, I'm so happy he signed with AEW, and sorry, New Japan, that's a loss for you guys. He's so good. Like, I guess I always see him with Mark Davis, right?
Yeah.
But every time I see him in the ring, I'm like, yo, you're awesome.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Yep.
So yeah, no, this match was fun. I had a great time. Great opening to the show. Like, great pre-show.
Oh yeah, this pre-show was awesome. I mean, every match on the buy-in was worth watching. Yep. So. Yeah, or whatever they call it, the 0 hour.
0 hour,
Anyway, so I have a hard time picking a match of this.
See, that's the problem, right? Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go with ELP and Stu Grimson.
Fantastic match. That's why I said I kept going back and forth. I'm like, which match do I like more? And you're right, ELP and Stu Grimson, they're great.
Yep. Well, that finished off 0 hour, and that moved us into the main card. And we started off with Tanahashi taking on MJF. And this match was mainly MJF dominating with heel antics after trying to leave. Tanahashi came back and hit a top rope senton for 2 at one point. He kept trying to get the high fly flow, but MJF kept stopping him. MJF was selling his knee through the last part of the match too. Apologize there, we're going over a bunch of bumps.
Some bumps,
yeah. We got some bumps. Thank you, Toronto Roadwork. But MJF then hit a double underhook shoulder breaker for 2. Tanahashi finally hit the high fly flow, but it was to MJF's knees.
Yep.
But MJF continued to hurt his knee, but the end came though when the ref got distracted and MJF pulled out the diamond ring and laid out Hiroshi Tanahashi with the diamond ring and pinned him for the 3.
This still saves Tanahashi, you know what I mean? Like MJF had to go to his antics to actually win this match, right?
Yep.
So that's fine. But, that being said, Tanahashi looked good here, right? Not his best, not his best in any way. Yeah. He looked like he's getting a bit up there now, right?
Yeah.
Some of the things were okay. The match was a little bit slower because we've seen MJF in other matches and he's pretty great, right?
Yep.
So you could tell he was wrestling to Tanahashi's capabilities right now. It was a little slow for me. It did what it had to do, and I was like, when the match finished, I was like, you know what? Okay, good. I'll give you guys a pass on this one.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, that's it.
It was fine. Yeah. It was fine. The crowd was back and forth on MJF. Okay, now you guys get to listen to rain hitting the vehicle, too. We got rain falling, everyone. But, so it's a little bit of a spattering in the background. That's what that is. Ooh, there's going to be some heavy rain. Okay, so to return, we had a brief pause there while we waited for the worst of the rain to pass. But to move on, the next match on the card was CM Punk taking on Satoshi Kojima. And this was where we discovered that, continuing from Collision last night, CM Punk is not very well liked in Toronto. This man, I have never heard boos so loud in my life in a live venue for one person. This was the match itself. Pretty much a brawl to start. Kojima had the majority of the offense for quite a while. Punk at one point did the Hogan leg drop again, then took over. Kojima hit the machine gun chops, top rope elbow for 2. Punk hit his own top rope elbow for 2. Then he used the Anaconda Vice. He went for the GTS, but Kojima fought out with a cutter. He reversed another with a brainbuster for a near fall, but then Punk hit the GTS for the 3 count. And that was the end of the match.
Yeah, you know, I said to you after this match, and when the other match started, I said, I think Toronto is exhausted from booing CM Punk.
Yeah.
Like, we booed him from the time, before his music even, okay. So I guess we should have said, before the show even started, Justin Roberts, what's her name? RJ City and Renee came out and were announcing matches and stuff like that. And the minute they said CM Punk, the audience lost their minds. This booing, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I know what's happened. We're trying to get past all this stuff. Punk is going to be a heel outside of Chicago. We've said this already.
Yes.
Right? I do give him credit for playing it up. I give him credit. I'm like, you know what? You're playing it up. I'm actually enjoying this. Good job. The match itself, Kojima is he looked a lot better than Ace there.
He did.
It was weird, right? Because we're like, who's gonna look better? And Kojima came out looking a lot better. The match itself, listen, we knew Punk was gonna win, but there was a point where we're like, wait, are they gonna do it?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Is Punk calling an audible here on the show? But no, at the end, CM Punk won. The match itself, nothing to write home about, right? It was a simple match. Nothing memorable, nothing you're gonna remember tomorrow. But just, hey, very odd. I guess they wanted to get CM Punk on the show. They got him on the show.
Yep.
Odd choice to get him on the show with, but
that's okay.
Nonetheless, they got him on the show.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the most memorable thing of this whole match will simply be the way he was booed out of the building.
Oh my goodness.
God. Yeah, that was something else. Then, surprisingly, I was surprised with this placement on the card. We got Orange Cassidy defending the AEW International Championship against Zack Sabre Jr., Katsuyori Shibata, and Daniel Garcia.
Yep.
There was some solid comedy at the beginning with Garcia, Shibata, and Zack Sabre Jr. when Shibata and Zack Sabre Jr. they wanted to go at it with each other.
Yeah.
And every time Daniel Garcia came up to interfere, they would just shove him out of the way and then keep hitting each other. There was a great suplex spot where they all gave each other suplexes. Kojima versus Orange Cassidy was great. They worked Orange Cassidy's hand into the match, like Kojima started on it. Zack Sabre Jr. continued on it. He worked over Cassidy until Shibata interrupted. But Orange Cassidy gets the win in this match, though, retaining his title with a Mahistral Cradle after Yes. after Shibata penalty kicked Garcia, and Orange Cassidy tossed Shibata out of the ring and picked up the win using Shibata's finisher.
Yeah. This match was great. It was fantastic. Watching Zack Sabre Jr., I was like, this guy, the way he moves, I get it why he wins the Bryan Danielson Award every year, right?
Yeah.
Watching him, I need to see Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. I think there's no ands for buts here. I need to see this match now, right? Daniel Garcia looked fantastic in this match. Yep. Like, he was so funny, so effective. Oh yeah. My God, he was good.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy's Orange Cassidy. Shibata was Shibata. This match was great. I loved it. I had so much fun. Like, it was a nice palate cleanser after the first two matches, I would say.
Yeah.
And I thought this was one of the best matches on the card.
Yep. Oh yeah, me too. I thought it was absolutely spectacular. The storytelling was good. Comedy spots were good, but the comedy made sense. Shibata and Zack Sabre Jr. have had a feud for a very long time, right? So the fact that they were going at it some more, and it made sense. And Garcia playing up like the whole sports entertainer aspect. His dancing was freaking hilarious. Oh yeah, the whole thing was just really great. It was just such a great match. Welcome back, everyone. Well, it would seem like we never left to you, but we have actually moved inside now and out of the rain because it was getting kind of ridiculous. But we reached home, so we are now inside, and we will continue with our review of Forbidden Door. The next match up was Sonata taking on Jungle Boy. And, basically Sonata did this cool, tied him up in a ball early, one of his signature moves. Sonata, they went back and forth an awful lot. There were a lot of counters, a lot of solid moves from both guys. Sonata won the match with a moonsault, retaining the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
We knew that this wasn't gonna change, right? Obviously. It was a good match. It was good. Like, I've never seen Sonata wrestle before. And he was pretty good. Jungle Boy is always good as well. I do like the reversals. I like the different styles. I've never seen Sonata never seen him wrestle. So watching him like do the tie-ups and the mat wrestling, and he did the flips. He did the moonsault, right? I was like, it's a pretty cool move, right? There was one move he did, and I can't remember what it was, but I was like, holy crap, what the heck did he just do, right?
Yeah.
So I was pretty impressed with him. Was this one of Jungle Boy's best matches in the world? It was good. It was good, right? But yeah, I thought this match did what it had to do. It showcased Sonata, right? Because AEW, we know who Jungle Boy is. It really showcased Sonata. So I like what they did here with, like, we need to showcase our champions, like the AEW, like mostly the New Japan champions, right?
Yeah.
Because Sonata is not a household name in North America.
No.
Right? And he listen, the audience, they're really into it. They're applauding. Yep. At one point I was like, wait, is Jungle Boy the heel right now? Because they're booing him. And I was like, but I like Jungle Boy. But yeah, no, it was great. So I love the fact they were cheering Sonata, as they probably should have, right? So no, this match was great. I liked it.
Yeah, no, it was a fun match. It did exactly what it needed to do. It's not going to be like match of the night or anything like that. Sonata, though, was very good. I think he put on an excellent show.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I expected of him. I mean, he is the IWGP champion for a reason. Jungle Boy was Jungle Boy. He had his moments. He had some good spots in it. He was Jungle Boy. He was. Because we you got the chance to sing along to his music when he came out and stuff. And after the match, though, after Sonata put him away with the moonsault, and Hook comes in the ring and he helps Jungle Boy get out of the ring, and he's walking with him to the back like a good friend and supporting him. Jungle Boy pauses and then lariats him down on the ramp and leaves him lying there, and then turns to the audience and starts mocking them too. So we got the Jungle Boy heel turn.
The funny part is, when we talked about this, I said, I don't know if they're gonna do the heel turn this early. Yeah. I said, but maybe something's gonna happen during the match, and it's gonna force Jungle Boy, right? Nothing happened during the match. Hook didn't do anything. Hook just watched.
Yeah.
Right? So the turn was so like I didn't expect it tonight. I really did not expect it tonight. It happened. And then Jungle Boy just mocking the crowd, singing his song. I was like, I like this, but I'm gonna miss like, are they going to keep that song? Right?
Nah,
I don't think so.
I
don't think so, right? You're right. And that's we'll talk about new themes throughout the night.
Yes.
But yeah, I you're totally right. He's gonna get a new theme now. That this theme is literally his face theme. So what's coming now? And we both kind of said it. You're going after the FTW championship.
Yeah, because he picked up the FTW belt, looks at it, and then tosses it back to Hook.
Yeah.
And then leaves. So hopefully what that means is he's not interested in this belt.
Listen, if Hook had an actual... I mean, listen, I'm not trying to downplay the FTW championship, but, like, it's not an AEW belt. So I kind of wish they had... It was... Like, Hook had an AEW belt, like a TNT or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Make more sense. But, yeah, the heel turn was sudden. It was sudden, but hey, we knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and hey, fine, they're gonna do it now, and let's see what happens out of this, right? They decided to pull the trigger on it. Let's see what happens. And maybe he's just fed up because he lost to Sonata. Who knows? Because Sonata been putting him down too. So
Hook and Jungle Boy is going to be a great program. Like,
yes.
Both of these
guys. The crowd was chanting "You fucked up" after Jungle Boy took Hook down, right? So very interesting. But then we get, and I was a little surprised again at the placement because we get Eddie Kingston's music hitting, and oh my God, does this crowd love Eddie Kingston? Holy crap, Toronto loves them some Eddie Kingston. He came out to one of the loudest pops of the night, I would say. Tomohiro Ishii, another solid pop, and then of course we got the Bucks and Hangman, the Elite, coming out to carry on Wayward Son, and I can safely say I may have lost part of my voice singing the song with them.
Yes. And just talk about the Bucks and Hangman for a second here. The odd part is you're right. Eddie Kingston, biggest pop, one of the biggest pops tonight. Yep. One of the easily throughout the entire thing. The Bucks got booed for some time, and I was kind of like Toronto, stop it. Yeah, stop it. Smarten up, all right? Eventually they didn't get booed. They got cheered. But I was like, why are you booing the Bucks? Because this is where the confusion happened. I'm like, so you're booing CM Punk, and you're booing... Are you guys booing the situation in general right now? Because if you are, I understand. But let me know about that first.
See, I was. This was literally what's going through my head when I watched the Bucks come out.
Yeah.
This is the furthest away I've ever been from the Young Bucks during a Young Bucks match. That was literally what was in my head watching them come to there. I'm like, wow, they're really far away.
They're really tiny.
Yeah. They're really tiny compared to how I've seen them before. But anyway, yeah, they all came out, and then the Blackpool Combat Club came out, and I won. They announced them all together. Takeshita, they said, and Takeshita, but they all came out together. They all came out through the crowd as one unit.
Yep.
Shota Umino, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, to brand new music. And I like their music, and had kind of more of a I don't know, it's kind of like a slow, steady kind of I don't know.
Different. It was different, right? Yeah.
I liked it a lot. They got in the ring, and this match just started right out of the gate. Yeah. Right out of the gate. And holy crap, what a match. They every person in the match got a chance to show their stuff, right? Every single person. Right. I mean, there were times when everybody just went nuts on each other. Right. I mean, you had Takeshita with some of those like lariats, some of the shoulder, like when he was in there with Ishii, that was some really good stuff. We had Shota Umino had some really good showings against the guys, so we got a chance to see him. Eddie Kingston, every time he got in the ring, the crowd just went nuts, and he spent a long time getting the crap kicked out of him too.
Yeah.
He was worked over by the Blackpool Combat Club for quite a while. It was all over the place. I mean, the flips the Elite were doing out of the ring. All right, it was just great match to watch. But Ishii though gets the pin with a brain buster on Wheeler Yuta.
And poor Yuta, we knew he was taking the. I was shocked Ishii got the pin, which is great. I'm not shocked that Yuta took the pin. The chop exchange between Kingston and Mox that went on through while everyone else was fighting around them. It just kept going and going and going. That was funny. I love how strong they made Takeshita look when he knocked out Ishii. I was like, he just knocked out Ishii. I was like, holy crap. And even though Eddie Kingston and Mox are fighting each other, Kingston saves Mox from from the super kick, right? Yep. He literally jumps in the way and takes it for Mox, and I was like, wow, that's such a great story he's telling there.
He's allowed to fight Jon Moxley. No one else.
No one else, because that's his friend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his friend, right? Even when in the ring talking, he's like, "What do you say? What do you say?" Shit, like they both have a conversation.
I know.
But no, this match we knew was going to be one of the top matches of the night. Yeah, it delivered. Watching Hangman and the Bucks work, there was one mess up. One simple mess up. It looked like Nick was supposed to connect with a cutter from the top, but he missed Yuta, and you see Yuta kind of sell it. He just jumps off. Yeah. I was like, bravo Yuta for even trying.
Nice try. Yeah, I know. I was just like, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to catch him with a cutter. Yeah, right from the top, right. So that was that I laughed at that part, but everything else was so fluid, so perfect. Like Hangman is just. He's so good. I don't get it. This guy, like, for his size, the way he moves, him and Takeshita. Holy crap. They're so... Like, when they jumped in the ring, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. These guys had a great match last year as well. Right? Yep. I'm like, give me more of this. But yeah, this was one of the top matches of the night.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. 5 outstanding wrestlers on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, he had 10 of the best in the world in the ring in this match. Yeah. All of them with different styles, and it was freaking great. Yep. Great. I didn't feel like anyone was overshadowed or underused in this match at all.
No, I agree with that.
Yep. Then we got Toni Storm taking on Willow Nightingale. And Toni Storm, it was a decent match. It went back and forth quite a bit. I mean, Nightingale got a lot of her stuff in. Toni Storm wins with the let's all sit down with Tony. On Willow Nightingale, the Storm Zero. For those of you who don't realize, that's what I call the Storm Zero. It was. I think what bothered me about this match wasn't the match. The match was solid. These women put on a decent match from my point of view. Yeah. It was the fans. There's a bunch of people who treated this match like one it didn't matter. This was really people just went, oh, women's match. People, it's like. I am. Anyways, I've cut you off twice, but that dude who was like. This is why one spot where Tony was like kind of pushing Willow over the guardrail, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell was that? This is why I hate women's wrestling." Yeah,
again, I believe, and I hate to say this out, that's one of the WB fans that were there, right?
It totally was. So, he was one of those guys. He's the same guy who said Dominic Mysterio is better than
so legit, his opinion doesn't matter. So, anyways, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like first of all. The match wasn't bad in any way.
At all.
Yeah.
It was a solid match.
If you ask me to compare between this match and the Billie Starkz match, of course I love the Billie Starkz match more. Like I thought her and Athena really put on a good showing. But this match was different. Yeah. This match was more like, okay, so it was trying to tell the story of the fact that the Outcasts always cheat to win. They got kicked out. Yep. Willow might have a chance. And guess what? Willow, unfortunately, Toni Storm beat her.
Yeah.
Right? Toni Storm just beat her.
Yep.
I thought this match did what it had to do. I personally thought something was going to happen afterwards, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, well, I was all hyped because I've been checking Twitter, and I saw the stuff after the Stardom show today, and Julia issuing like the challenge to Willow for the New Japan, strong women's title, and I'm like, maybe we'll get a video segment. I'm like. Julia? No, of course not. That one last shred of hope I was getting any stardom on this show went out the window. Just like to take a moment though, because I am very, very tired of this notion that somehow women's wrestling is subpar to men's wrestling. Now, there are women in this world who are on par with the best that men's wrestling has to offer. we are long past Vince McMahon and his model agencies for being the epitome of women's wrestling.
Yeah.
You and I went to a show today, which we will be talking about in a different show, but we went to see Smash Times versus Femme Fatales.
Mm-hmm.
It was all women, and there were some fucking spectacular matches on this show, right? We saw 2 matches tonight. For instance, let me just throw this out. Rather than comparing the Willow Nightingale match with Billie Starkz, what about CM Punk and Katsuyori Shibata? Which match was better?
The Willow match better. But the Willow match is probably better than the MJF match, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's what I mean, right? It's like I think we're long past the point of the women's match is always going to be the secondary category on the card and all this kind of crap. They hold their own 100% with the boys now. Right?
Yeah.
There it is just wrestling. Yes, they may be on different titles and different programs and blah, 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 because of course, it's like women's sports and men's sports. It is divided that way in wrestling as well for the most part. But I think we're long past the point though, especially in something like wrestling where things are scripted and everyone can do the same kinds of moves. I think we're long past the point where the distinction is necessary, where it's like, well, it's the women's stuff, so it's going to suck. That is a leftover archaic, absolutely archaic remnant of that terrible Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And, I'm done with it. When I heard that guy say, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? The kinds of matches I have seen women put on today that outdid so many matches I've seen men put on. I mean, we're going to talk about it in another show. But Mercedes Martinez taking on Vert Vixen.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, that was also better than MJF versus Hiroshi Tanahashi.
And again, we're not saying MJF can't put on a better match. It was
or Hiroshi Tanahashi. He was one of the all-time greats in professional wrestling, right? Like, I'm not saying they can't put on good matches. I'm saying in this particular instance with that particular match, there were other matches that were better, and they were done by women. So I am a little bit tired of listening to that kind of bullshit in the audience. But like I told you the same day, there is great power in simply allowing someone else to be wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinions, even if it's wrong, right?
Precisely. So, yes, exactly. So, after that, we then went on to, because we will go from me on a slight rant to another surprising card placement, but we get what you called Will Ospreay coming out to his other theme.
So that's right.
That's right. Elevation.
I hope he does.
And he did. To, I wouldn't say a totally booing reaction. He got, I'm biased because I was cheering my ass off for one Will Ospreay. And at one point, I was the only guy in the crowd when they were going, let's go Kenny. And I'm yelling alone, let's go Will. Of course, the same WWE fans said, why would anybody cheer for Will Ospreay? And I felt like saying, have you seen him wrestle? But you know what? He probably hasn't.
He hasn't. No, he definitely has not.
Yes. So anyway, we got Will Ospreay, and then Kenny Omega came out. And, we thought the boos were loud for Punk. The cheers for Omega. The roof went off this building. Loudest pop of the night, easily. This match was the loudest match of the night. Easily. I wrote down in my notes, holy shit, that is all. But to be fair, there was a story. It was Ospreay trying to get his revenge, and he went after Kenny Omega with guns blazing. And these two put on another absolutely phenomenal wrestling match.
Yeah.
The storytelling in this match, again, these guys are, I don't even know where to start with this. If you guys can hear that, it's just my air conditioner. Hey, look, guys, this whole podcast is full of background sound effects. So, look, I don't even know where to start with it. The callbacks to their first match, first of all, when you had Will putting Kenny's face through that the covering board table for the ring announce table, right? And the callback to that. You had the spot in the ring where Kenny was pulling up Will again and drilling him with the continuous V triggers to take him down, which was the end of their previous match, right? You had all these callbacks to the first match, and yet this match escalated the violence to like, both of them were cut open. Will Ospreay was like just about at Dustin Rhodes levels of blood, licking Kenny Omega's blood off his arm at one point. It was, but the moves and the counters, and Will getting Kenny up into the one-winged angel, and then Kenny kicks out at one and comes back because he was just so pissed someone threw his move at him. Yeah, this match, I mean, start to finish, it was a fairly long match. Don Callis did interfere. He passed Will Ospreay the screwdriver at one point, so when Kenny took him up into the one-winged angel, he stabbed him in the head with the screwdriver to get out of it. So there was a little bit of shenanigans going on, Callis helping out Will Ospreay a bit. But ultimately, just the whole, I thought it was going to a time limit draw because they started to announce the time as well. I mean, they threw us off with that too, right? And we ended up, Will Ospreay gets the pin after Stormbreaker, and he walks away as the new IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, and dude, match of the night. I mean,
easily.
I
mean, I was just reading Twitter. So Sean Rossap wrote, he's like, that might very well be my new favorite match of all time. He goes, Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega did something special again.
Yes.
Right? And then he followed up by saying, one of the goddamnedest pops I've ever heard in my life for Kenny Omega kicking out of the one-wing angel, because it was a one kick.
We both just about floated.
We're like, what? Yeah. Right? But I credit where credit's due. Will put on such a great show. Like anyone who doesn't know who Will Ospreay is, go watch some of these matches with Kenny Omega. You'll find who Will Ospreay is. Will's releasing a new T-shirt. It's called the last. I think, what do you call it? It's called the Last World Beater. It's being released for pre-order, and the pre-order is going to end July 7th. But obviously, a shot back at Kenny Omega. Now, I like this because their story is not over.
Oh no,
anyway,
it's not.
Right? And anyway, this match again, match of the night, match so far, but it was great. But you don't have to send Kenny after Will right now. You don't have to do that. Kenny's got Don Callis to worry about right now. I really did think someone else was coming. I really did think Ibushi was going to show up tonight. Even after that, I thought the match finished, done, something's going to happen, right?
Yep.
And then it didn't. Because you're like, Don Callis got kicked out. Why did they let him back in? It's one of those type of shenanigans things. I was kind of like, if he was there throughout the entire thing, whatever, then it happens. But the fact that he came back in was kind of weird to me. Yeah. But this match, like these guys, I don't know the placements of these things, right? I don't know the placement. So Tony Khan decided this match needs to go on like third last. So okay. But yeah, no, this match, like this is what Forbidden Door was, right? This is what Forbidden Door. And this is, I'm not taking anything away from Danielson, and we'll get to that. But this match was phenomenal. It was so good.
No, this is again, we're in match of the year consideration. I mean, the real thing is, like, when I finished this match and all the emotion, all the stuff that happened, the way they escalated and stuff, I still like the first one better.
So I was thinking about that as we were watching it. I think the first one was more brutal than this match.
Yeah, the whole like the table
and smashing his head through. Yeah. I think they like brutal. Even though I don't think Kenny did as many, he did more flips in this match than he did in the first one. Even wrestled more heel. But that first match was so hard hitting. I thought it was absolutely brutal. So I need to sleep on this one a bit. I need to figure out which one I like better.
Well, I went from just my own emotional reaction, right? Even though Ospreay won this one, and Omega won the other one.
Yeah.
I thought and it was this, right? Because in the second one, Ospreay wrestled more heel and he didn't do as much stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And whereas in the first match, he did more stuff, and Omega did a little bit more of the heel, slowish, brutal kind of wrestling, right? And I honestly I think because the first one was so new and it was the first time we saw them together, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And that's always going to have the impression on me, because like that's, I think, also partly why I'm judging the match the way I am, because it was this one I went into it knowing, oh my God, we're getting part 2.
Yeah.
And so for me, it is just slightly not I mean, but if somebody came up to me and said, I like the second one better, I'd be like, I totally get it, right? Yeah. I think it is all just about slight personal preferences and taste in this situation. When you're talking about, it's like when people argue about which is the best of the Okada Omega trilogy, right? Yeah. People will argue, and they're all right, because we're really getting into some subjective stuff. But I really liked the first match just slightly better. And I don't know if it's like, I mean, I'm going to watch the match back again.
Same,
of course.
Same.
Because I want to see it just from an objective, how do I think of the match point of view. I think the first one too had no outside interference. And
that's it, right? Yeah. I actually, when Will grabbed the screwdriver, he hesitated. Yeah. Like he wasn't going to use it. Yeah. And I would prefer him winning without using that, because even when Callis is like, I want to help you, and he's like, but what's in it for you? Yeah. Right? He looked like he didn't want to be part of that. Right? So that one there, that took a little bit away from it for me. I actually wanted him, I said, Freddie, I predicted Will was going to win, but I wanted him to win fair and square. He doesn't need that stuff to beat Omega, right? Right. So that, you're right, that did take a little bit away, and maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I need to watch the match again. I really do. 100%. But yeah, easily the match of the night. Done. Yeah. And in my top 5 matches of the year so far. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Yep. Then they decided to buffer this match from Okada and Danielson by putting in the Suzuki Gods taking on Sting, Darby Allin, and Naito. And we get once again guys with their spots, right? I mean, we got a really nice code breaker from Jericho at one point. We got Sting putting on a couple of Scorpion Deathlocks, of course, sharpshooter in Canada, so of course he has to do more than one. We got the Suzuki Gods missing numerous Sting splashes and Scorpion splashes in the corner. Pretty funny. We got the triple pose from the Suzuki Gods, all doing the Jericho Sammy pose with Minoru coming up, and that was pretty great. But we got a lot of really good spots. Naito actually got the pin, with the jackknife on it, and we also got Sammy, of course, going insane and doing a. Was it a senton off the top rope through a table? Basically more like a 450 or something through the table on top of Sting, who then just got up and rolled over and got back in. Well, he's Sting. But that part got messy because it was weird, right? When you were watching it, we're like, why is Sting inside the ring and not outside? And then he kind of backs up, like he's gonna help the person, then backs up. And then he goes back and helps. You're like, okay, Sting, I guess your timing was off on this one. I guess you're a little bit older. Okay, fine, whatever. But you're right. This match was great. Obviously, following up the last match, you're kind of like, I think the audience was exhausted. I really do. Yeah, right? Oh, yeah. Right? And watching them watch this match, like I kind of felt Sammy is back with Jericho. Oh, yeah, there was no hints that he wasn't on the same page. Not at all. Jericho. Not at all. Except for Jericho making him do the flip, right? But the fact that when he posed, Jericho posed, and then Suzuki posed on top, that was fantastic. Yeah. I like the fact that Naito got the pin. Naito looked pretty good. Oh, and Naito's he looked pretty good in this match. I was actually pretty impressed with him. Jericho is Jericho. So yeah, this match was fun. Again, very odd positioning. Because if this match had come before, I think it would have got more energy, more pop to it, right? And apparently during the press conference that I'm gonna watch like tomorrow, Jericho kind of interrupts Sting, and he ends up apparently he hit a bottle off the table and it hit one of the reporters in the face. Oh no. Denise Salcedo saw the guy hit with the bottle, he's legit bleeding right now. So I'm like, oh no. Obviously a mistake, so whatever. Yes. But yeah, no, very odd positioning of the match. But the match itself was fantastic. I think you're right. Everyone got their spots. Like Darby throwing him, like Darby versus Suzuki was so funny, right? Suzuki just like knocks him out. Poor Darby. Like honestly, if you were to rank every single wrestler in that match, the person who actually didn't do that well was Sting. Yeah. Right? He actually messed up some spots and stuff like that. So again, probably one of the oldest
or the oldest person there.
Yeah.
So credit to him for doing it still, but like some of the stuff looked a little rough.
Yeah. I mean, and it was easy to forget about because we had so many good performances from other guys in the match. So I think it's just. Look, I appreciate that Tony and the rest of the bookers try to put some space between Omega and Ospreay with Danielson and Okada because they wanted something other than Omega Ospreay to be the main event.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, look, New Japan put them back to back. It didn't work. Tony put a buffer match. It didn't work. Can we all just admit now that if you're going to put Omega versus Ospreay on a card, it needs to go on last? Because dude, that match took so much out of me.
It did.
I mean, honestly, after that, I was
exhausted.
I was really starting to feel it because I was starting to feel the time. I was starting to feel like we've been watching wrestling for how many hours?
Yeah.
That match finished. Some people left.
Yes, because that's the match they came to see.
That's the match they came to see. So they left. They were done. There wasn't a lot of people leaving.
No,
it's not like we're not talking like a Shania Twain concert exodus or something like that. But we have a lot of people leaving. But then we got the main event of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kazuchika Okada taking on Bryan Danielson to determine who the best in the world really is. And well, this was a very good match. It started off slower.
Mm-hmm.
They were really filling each other out, testing each other with moves. Danielson got the advantage early, working on the arm. Okada hulked up at one point, like they got into the kind of the strong style spots. It went back and forth quite a bit. There were a lot of chants for Okada. There were a lot of chants for Danielson. The end came. Danielson really went into his yes kicks, and then he put a scissored armbar on Okada and wrapped his leg around one of the arms. And at first, Okada got out of the first attempt and he was actually able to hit Danielson with a Rainmaker at one point for a near fall. And then Danielson got the scissored armbar on him again, and Okada tapped out.
That's impressive.
Yes.
I'm thinking about the finishes to some of these matches. This one shocked the hell out of me.
Yes, 100%.
I never in a million years would have said Danielson is going to tap out Okada, or Okada's going to tap out. I'm like, there's no way New Japan's going to let him do that. But then when you think about it, if there's going to be one person to tap out Kazuchika Okada, it's going to be Bryan Danielson, right? So it just made sense, right? And I was like, you're right. This match started slow. They're both beating each other out. But then you see how good Danielson actually is. And this is why I'm like, when I saw Zack Sabre Jr. earlier, I was like, why aren't you two fighting each other? Right? That's going to be such an amazing... When Danielson put that lock on him, I was like, what is he doing to his arm? And then I'm like, no, he's not going to tap, because how is he going to tap out of this?
I know.
Because his arm is all bent up. And then it ends up, he's just tapping on Danielson because it's all he could really do. What a finish. Again, shocked.
Yep.
Shocked.
Yep.
Because the audience was basically going for both these guys. They weren't cheering against Danielson. They weren't cheering against or weren't cheering just for Okada. But Okada was getting huge pops. Okada, when it picked up at the end, I was like, okay, what, the Psycho knee, the Rainmakers, and I'm like, oh my god, the Tombstone. I was like, he's giving a Tombstone on the ramp, right? I was like, this is fantastic. It's something's gonna happen. I did not expect what was gonna happen. Fair and square. Beats Okada. Danielson is the best in the world.
Yes. Well, he is the one that has the technical award.
He has an award. He has an award. Agreed. He has an award.
Though if there was an award for drop kicks, it would be named the Kazuchika Okada Award for Best Drop Kick, because holy crap, that guy hit perfect drop kicks.
Fantastic. Danielson coming out to
Final countdown.
At first, when it started up, I'm like, what is this? And you're like, Danielson's coming final countdown? I'm like, what? He did? Before? And apparently it says 2000. He said 2009, right?
He hasn't used this. Because it was his Ring of Honor theme, right? When he was in the American Dragon.
Yeah. So, and in the post interview, Danielson said that was Tony Khan's idea.
Yep.
He's like, and he agreed to it. He's like, that. Of course, I would want the final countdown, which I think is just mind blowing, right? Yeah. And here's the thing: Bryan Danielson is part of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yes.
the anti-heroes here, right? And sometimes when they were against the elite, you're like, oh my god, they're the bad guys. He wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't even fighting heel here.
No.
He was just fighting.
Yep.
Right? And he was so good. And at the end of it, I'm like, Bryan Danielson really is the best. Right? Like at the end, I just said he really is just the best, right? And I thought he was gonna lose. I really thought he was gonna lose this match.
Yeah.
But
no, he beat Kazuchika
credit,
Okada, tapping him out.
Credit to Okada and New Japan for allowing that.
Oh yeah, and I mean Okada put on a hell of a match.
He did. So he definitely.
This match was worth the billing. I think that the only thing it suffered from was having to follow Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Nothing should follow them.
They shouldn't
ever. That should always be your main event. I hope people learn. But I think what was cool was, of course, now the pay-per-view has gone off the air, and Danielson gets the mic, and he's closing out the show, and he just says, he thanked Toronto. He says how much he respects us for sitting for 5 hours and being what he said was one of the best wrestling crowds he's ever heard in his life. Yeah. Because there were times that we were like so loud. He was, and we kept it up right to the end. Because I mean, right at the end, we could sit there for 5 hours, and it was still for Okada and Danielson. That was still a loud crowd. It never got to the level of Omega and Ospreay. No. Nothing got to the level.
Everyone was waiting for that one. That's why.
Yeah. But there was still, the crowd was right into it, and very solid show. And he played Final Countdown again.
He did.
Yep. So that was Forbidden Door 2023. We both said match of the night, of course, is Ospreay and Omega. Now, Omega level stuff on this show.
Omega level stuff. Okay, so I think one, CM Punk's heat was Omega. I've never seen something that bad. I don't even think he was prepared for that. Even coming off Collision. So the heat on him was just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I also think obviously the Omega Ospreay match was Omega level for me. I think the kick out. No one expected the kick out. I thought they were going to do it, and I'm talking about the one winged angel kick out from Kenny. Yeah. I thought they were going to do at least 1-2 kick outs.
Yeah.
The one kick out, I was like, what the hell is this?
That was awesome. Just such good storytelling.
The Will winning again, like, I mean, this is that. At the end, even though the fans booed, they couldn't help but cheer because there's nothing. There's nothing, right?
Well, they got the standing ovation.
They did. They got the standing ovation, right? So those like that stuff there was absolute. And again, I have to give credit. Like, Bryan Danielson tapped out Kazuchika Okada.
Yep.
Tapped him out. I would never in a million years would have said that.
Yep.
Right? So those are the things I've given the Omega thing for.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on that. I would also give the Okada Danielson match Omega level.
Yeah.
Especially the ending, like you said. It was a well built, well told match.
Mm-hmm.
Omega Ospreay obviously is Omega level. It's one of the match of the year candidates
again.
Yeah, exactly. And you're absolutely right about the CM Punk heat. I mean, the minute any fan yelled CM Punk, everyone was booing.
From the beginning, when we were sitting down in our seats waiting for the show to start.
So someone tried to start a CM Punk chant. This was before anything was even going on, and the few people who were there were already booing. So it was pretty crazy. But I think that sums up my Omega level moments. But great show.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a bad match on the card. There were a couple of okay matches. But there wasn't a bad match on this card, and that included the 0 hour. So, this was well worth checking out. But, I mean, the Orange Cassidy match, the Blackpool Combat Club match, and, of course, Omega Ospreay and Okada Danielson, I think those would be my 4 to say the must-sees. I'd say if you want to expand, Suzuki-gun and Sting in that.
Yeah, I mean, you can technically watch if you have if you have 2 days of wrestling to watch, and you can watch the show back to back. Like, want to break it up, you can watch this entire show. Yeah. It's very, very long. Yes. But you can watch it. But I mean, obviously the top matches you have to watch are Omega and Ospreay, Danielson and Okada, And yeah, if you want to have fun, you can watch the Suzuki Gods and stuff like that. Orange Cassidy.
Did they call them the Suzuki Goon? Oh my god. That's, that's hilarious.
What's it called? Orange Cassidy's match.
Yeah.
That like just to watch Zack Sabre Jr. do his thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know like how to explain it. You need to watch this guy. It
Yes.
doesn't make sense sometimes.
No one wrestles like Zack Sabre Jr. So yeah. Anyway,
Fun show.
but it is now nearly 2:00 in the morning. We have been at this for I don't know how long today with professional wrestling, but as the great one might be incapable of saying right now because he got his face smashed in by Will Ospreay. I mean, why am I even closing it with Omega? I should be closing it with Ospreay here, right? Because as we all know, rounds up, everyone. Rounds up.
Good night, everyone.